Hello and welcome to IRL FP here for round 1 at Belgium. First FP race going to be on this game, of course, and the rest of the tiers have gone. Last season we started with FP, this season it's going to be the rest of the tiers, equal tiers first, and now we are here for FP on this Wednesday night. A few cars, of course, already getting out on track, trying to get their first laps in, and you can see Cameron Young, and it's gonna be oh well, I guess the Williams is slower then for today. So Cameron Young in the Haas, Matthew Older in the Williams, as you can see there. Just gonna try and get all this up on the it is actually Matthew Older who's gonna be first to do a lap, so we'll see a lap from the best, if you will, as he's just finishing up sector 2. And then behind him, not the Ferrari, maybe not like either, I guess it's, yeah, that would be Lickle. So we'll find Matthew Older again as he prepares to start the first flying lap of FP. As through the final corner, a wide line to try and add that little bit extra time for accelerating into turn 1 here, the hairpin, braking it just at the 100-meter board, of course, and through turn 1 and short shifting up to 3rd, as has been the case for the last few games. And now up Eau Rouge, this is going to be tricky, plenty of people spinning here in the F1 tier. Of course, Matthew not one of them, he won the race on Saturday last week, and he continues on his way to finish sector 1, so this of course will be a purple sector 1. As you can see, they're right up on the curb. Matthew Older really using all of the track, getting really close to the white line, of course not going over, as he's been so good at doing. Of course he is a 4-time or 5-time, I think, world champion, well, IRL champion, as he navigates the middle sector, approaching turns 10 and 11, as he gets on the power, and of course flat out through the second part, approaching turns 12 and 13. You'd want to use quite a lot of curb here, as he's certainly going to do, and then the left-hander, again lots of curb and using all of the exit curb as well. And now on to the final straight, trying to use all of that well, a wide line to really carry the speed and make sure that he doesn't spin there, as it can get a little bit off, at least for some of us. Maybe Matthew doesn't really have that problem, as of course the flat out turn 17 and coming up to the final bus stop chicane, heavy braking right down to 2nd gear, no 1st gear, and then back up to 3rd to finish the lap. So this is the time that everyone's going to be wanting to beat, and it's going to be a 42.7, of course Matthew Older on the softs, and it should be a fairly simple strategy on the softs. Is that someone spinning? That's an Alpine of Paco Suarez spinning. That is in the exit of turn 13, as Ollie Flavel's going to be the second one to set a lap. Jared Fosbury also getting a lap in the Alpine, and then there's Lickle in the Alfa Romeo getting 5th, so that's the slowest time, of course, on mediums though. And Ollie interestingly beating Matthew, but of course the cars does have a factor into that as well, about, well, pretty much 3.5-4 tenths between them, and then Ross Denholm being the quickest of the medium runners in the McLaren, and Cameron Young as well selling into P4. Some names I won't necessarily know. The Ferrari driver, I guess I'll just go with, well, Taimura, I guess, is what I'm going to go with for now at least. I will know the names a little bit better next week, as Sondre Sorhag there also on the softs in the that is the Alpha Tauri in 3rd, and of course Ollie Flavel in the other Alpha Tauri in P1 at the moment. 4 tenths more or less separating those two, but I'm sure Sondre has a little bit more pace, at least in quali. And then Mr. Grumpy puts in a 42.4 just behind Ollie Flobble, actually, in the kind of sister team, if you will, the AlphaTauri. And yeah, just hundreds between those two. And then you can see Thomas MacGyver and Taimura, or Taimu might actually be a little easier to say, both on their outlaps. Most other people going to be going to the pits is Jared Fosbury there into the pits. Matthew Alder is surely going to be into the pits now as well, as he takes a little bit of a unorthodox line into the pit lane there, but he gets it through. So I guess we're going to go on board with the Ferrari, the Ferrari of Taimu, as he's going to be starting his lap soon. He's invalidated his outlap, but that doesn't really matter, as he's coming up to a little bit of traffic as well. People should be getting out of the way. The Haas of who I would assume is Cameron Young gets out of the way, but the Ferrari driver actually goes into the pit, so it's going to be next Thomas MacGyver to start a lap. He's got the McLaren of Ross Denham getting out of the way on the right there, very much off the track, and Thomas MacGyver going to be coming through the bus stop chicane, but he's also going to come back in and not set a lap. Maybe they're thinking that the free choice of tyre is preferable, as someone was going through there. That was the Mercedes of HMFC. So yeah, pretty much everyone getting back into the pit now, as they're, yeah. In goes the Red Bull, and now everyone is in the pits apart from Taimu. Taimu did start a lap then, I guess. Well, we'll see what Sector 1 is anyway. See if it's proper. I mean, it seems to be so I guess I'll commentate over this lap, as he's one of two cars out on track right now, as he navigates turn 7 and approaches very tricky downhill braking as well off turn 8. And then into a very quick turn 9, and then he approaches turns 10 and 11, which you got to carry a lot of speed through, but you've got to make sure as well that you're not going to be going too wide, as it's very easy to invalidate your lap, especially in quali, as well, he did come into the pit in that case then. I'm not sure if there's a problem with Taimu's car, but yeah, that happened. So in that case then it should be an Alpine. Is that Jared Fosbury going to be first? It is, as he's just finishing up going through turn 14. Through Blanchimont as well, and he's going to be approaching the bus stop chicane to start his lap. Should be a wide entry, or at least that's what I'm seeing from the drivers, and yes, once again a wide entry to set up the start of Yap. A little bit better DRS in activation as he approaches turn 1 of La Source, the hairpin. Actually, I think that's, well, yeah, one of 3 hairpins. The bus stop, I guess, is 2 and 1, as now he approaches Arouge, up the hill of Arouge, and then through the left-hander of Radion. Very easy to spin, but Jared Fosbury doesn't do it on this occasion, and he continues on his way, opening up DRS down the Kemmel Straight towards Les Combes. Heavy braking now for turn 7, and he's actually purple according to the track map there, as he goes through Les Combes now. That's yellow flags, but I'm not sure who that's for. I don't think that's for anyone even, as the downhill braking of turn 10 and then through turn 11 here. Got to carry a lot of speed, but make sure you don't go too wide as to invalidate. And now, of course, approaching Pouon. And he has spun now. He was on for a good lap, it seems, but he has spun around, and well, that's the end of his lap. He's going to remain 9th. Of course, that was on the softs. He was on the mediums for his first lap. So the next person to set a lap might be Matthew, I think, unless the Red Bull is also on a lap. But I guess we'll just go with Matthew anyway. He's 3rd right now. He's on the softs. He's just set a purple sector 1, as Matthew always does, as he navigates Les Combes now. approaching turn 10. He's got the two Alfa Romeos ahead of him a little bit up the track, but I don't think he's going to be encountering them by the end of this lap. At least it's a downhill braking of turn 10, of course, and then carry a lot of speed, getting right up on the curb and really attacking the curbs. Matthew Walder is he's so good at that. You really need to be quick, and he does it so well as he almost invalidates there. Goes very wide, really using all of the track available to him, and now through turns 13 and turns 14, using all of the curb once again, and all of the exit curb, I'm sure, as he does, using it to pretty much perfection. Very nice to watch Matthew Walder go through this lap. Is purple in sector 2. He's a 10th up on his previous time according to that though, so take it with a pinch of salt. Codemasters might be wrong, as they have been before, but the two Alfa Romeos going slowly going through bus stop, but don't think it'll matter for Matthew Walden now as he approaches bus stop himself to complete this lap. So through the right-hander and then the final corner to finish off a lap, and he's going to cross the line now. Will it be pole, provisional pole? He's going to cross the line. It was an improvement, I think. He was previously on a 0.7 up to a 0.6, so yeah, that was Codemasters. They weren't purple sectors. Maybe the first sector may have been with the Mercedes engine, but regardless, not good enough for pole as Ollie Flavel has invalidated his lap. Grumpy in the Red Bull is on a lap right now, as he's going to be going through turn 10, as HMFC actually in the Mercedes now sets a 42.1, 3/10 clear of Ollie Flavel, and there as well Ross Denholm setting a 42.3, so we'll see what Grumpy in the Red Bull can do now as he goes through Pouhon and then approaches, of course, turns 13 and 14. Or actually, that could be 12 and 13. I'm not sure. I'm seeing two things for a track map. But regardless, he comes through onto the final back straight. And he's going to be approaching Blanc-Chemin. Flat out, of course. No DRS, actually, for this back straight. As he's just got to be flat out and then just perfect his braking as now he approaches bus stop. Braking just after the 100-meter board and down to second gear, and he's going to accelerate out. Didn't actually short shift up to third, which is interesting, but across the line for Grumpy, and he's going to set a 42.1, bettering the time of HMFC, who just went pole a few moments ago. And Matthew Walder's finished with that lap. Paco Suarez is on an invalid lap. Edward Hart is actually on a lap though, as he's going to come through and he's going to go into the pit lane. So that's not a lap. And Taimu is back out, but I'm not sure, as of course he saw his cartel earlier, and he's going to come into the pits as well. So Grumpy is going to be on an in lap. It doesn't look like anyone is on a lap right now. As we see Ross Denham running out of fuel on the approach to bus stop. Most people in the pit, or on their way to the pit at least, is Sandra actually losing it just at Blanc-Chemin, or even before then as well. So most people just kind of crawling around to the pits. Actually, I think that was Paco there. My bad. But yeah, as you can see, pretty much everyone. So that's going to be Ollie that is on an out lap. So he's going to be the first one, unless Taimu is on a lap. But I mean, he's teleported back to the pits once before, so I wouldn't be surprised if it happened again. So if anything, it's going to be Taimu with kind of a one-shot quali, which is not a situation you'd want to be in, but a situation he's in right now as he approaches Pouhon. Okay, yeah, I understand what the thing is with the corners. So this is turn 14 then, as he comes through, and then he teleports again, of course. So it is going to be Ollie who's going to be first, as he now as well approaches turn 14. I don't know if Taimu was actually on a lap or not though. as Ollie got a lot of clear track, but I think some people might be exiting the pit lane about now, though. He did leave quite a bit early, so he might have put himself in traffic, which he's not going to be liking, and for his sake I hope that he gets a clean lap in, as he's 5th. He was provisional pole earlier in the session, as he is going to be starting his lap. A nice wide entry for the or wide approach to the to his final lap in qualifying, as he goes through turn 1, really spinning up the rears. As you can see, he's almost sliding through turn 1 as now he approaches Rouge going up the hill. Very, very tricky, and just got to keep the steering as smooth as possible to make sure you don't spin, as I'm sure plenty of people are going to be spinning. But he opens his DRS, but he seems to be backing off now, so I guess he's not going to be on a lap. Taimu is on an invalid lap, so the next person, that's an Alpha, no, that's not an Alpha, that's an Alpine, I think. No, it's actually Williams of Matthew Alder once again, who's going to be starting the lap, opening up DRS as he crosses the line to start his final lap. Currently in P6 with a 42.6. He's going to have to find about half a second if he wants to be looking at pole here, as he's going to be approaching Rouge himself. I don't know why Ollie backed off, but he decided to back off. Maybe he's going to go for one more attempt right at the end. So nice and smooth from Matthew Alder, going up the hill, opening up DRS to go onto the Kemmel Straight now, as he approaches turns 6, 7 and 8. Right up on the curb, as you would expect. Misses the well, he doesn't really miss the apex, but didn't use as much curb as I think he did earlier, at least, as now the downward braking of turn 10, using lots of curb for the entry once again, trying to maximize the amount of speed he can bring through these corners. Once again right up on the curb, and a little bit on the edge there, and it is actually an invalidation for Matthew Alder. So the champion from last season has invalidated his lap. He's not going to do any better than P6 today, and behind him now I think it is actually Sondre, but he's invalidated as well. So behind him it looks like a Haas. It is Cameron Young in the Haas, currently in 10th. He set his previous lap on mediums. If I was him, I would simply just take it as Rocco Walsh. It looks like he's actually got in. I think he may have been late to the session, I'm not sure, but regardless, Cameron Young now coming through turn 15, and he's going to be approaching turn 16 of Blanchimont now, as flat out he's done most of the work, but still a little bit to come as he approaches the bus stop, as he's going to be the one of the final people. Well, he's going to kind of start off the final laps, if you will, as he comes through bus stop now, down to second gear, and keeps it actually down to first gear and third for the final corner, and he's going to cross the line. Will he improve? Only one place, so not very beneficial there compared to what he could have done in the mediums. That's likely finishing up in 9th. Just trying to find who's finishing up. There's a Ferrari of Taimu on his outlap actually, so I guess we'll see how that pans out. There's Ross Denholm finishing up his lap. He's got a Mercedes right behind him. We'll find out which one that is in a moment. Maybe HMFC. As Ross Denholm, he's third right now, 42.3. He improves, but not enough to get second, although very close between himself. Only 1,000 separating himself and HMFC, who goes into the pits now. Just trying to find anyone. Ollie Flavel is finishing up his lap, so he did go for another lap as someone improves there. I'm not sure who that was. Ollie Flavel certainly is not going to be improving actually on his position, at 42.4 for Ollie Flavel. And I think Taimu went up to 5th there, but he's on an outlap, so he's quite glitched. Paco Suarez is up to P4 as he finishes up. Grumpy is first, and it looks like that is going to be it. Although I'm not sure about Taimu though. Looks like he's going for it, but one, he's invalidated, and I'm not even sure if his car is even there. Just going to be waiting on him now. I do hope this fixes itself, because I do not think that he's there. Yeah, it looks like an 8. And now it's starting the lap. Hopefully after the 15 seconds this will fix itself. I guess I'll try and get the stream showed up now as he's after session. So, with finishing up quali, it's going to be Grumpy ahead of HMFC, only half a tenth between them two, and Ross Denham only a thousandth behind HMFC for third, Paco Suarez fourth. Taimura is in fifth, Ollie sixth, Matthew Waller in seventh, Sondre Sorog in eighth, the two teammates occupying the fourth row. Laggy in ninth, Cameron Young in 10th, Lakel is 11th, Jared 12th, Greenwood is 13th, Rocco is 14th, Thomas McGyver is 15th, and then Dylan Day is last with the last three with no time. But it seems like Dylan may have crashed or something, since he actually says no time, but I guess we'll see. So just need to find this stream now. And we are away for the formation up. Grumpy is going to be leading them away in the Red Bull. HMFC, of course, in the Mercedes. Just going to quickly get the real names up on my phone so I can be calling them who they actually are. There we go. So, in first then, Grumpy's name is Dale Kelleher, I'm going to go with. So Dale Kelleher in first, ahead of Harry Warren in second. I guess the H will be able to remember that. Ross Denham, of course, in third, Paco Suarez in fourth. Then it's Timer Azim in fifth, Ollie Flavel sixth, Matthew Waller in seventh, and Sondre Sorhog in eighth. Then ninth is Lewis Milan, is it? Lewis Milan, yeah. So Lewis Milan in ninth, Cameron Young, of course, in 10th, Edward Hart 11th, Jared Fosbury 12th, Johnny Greenwood, I guess, works fine in 13th, Rocco Walsh, of course, in 14th, then Thomas McGyver 15th, and Dylan Day in 16th. So Just gonna try and find it again. So yeah, Dale Kelleher in first and Harry in second. As they finish up the formation lap, the AI will take over and then they'll get in their grid spots for the race. Hopefully my voice doesn't die, as I'm of course just solo comm today, unfortunately. So it's 3, 4, 5 red lights for round 1 in Belgium, and it's lights out and away we go. Dale Kelleher, of course, leading them away into turn 1. He has the inside line for turn 1 as well. Should be able to hold this lead, but Harry's trying to go around the outside. He has a look across Denham also trying to get involved. It looks like in the background there's been a problem. That's the Ferrari, of course, of Taro again, as the Mercedes goes on the inside. You can see him trying to get behind in the slipstream of the Red Bull, almost loses it, but luckily keeps it, and he's going to be behind the Red Bull, and he's going to go alongside of Dale, and side by side between the two, of course, first and second on the grid. The Mercedes down the inside, and he's going to be able to go up into first place as the Red Bull almost loses a little bit of wing there, but luckily they go through fine, as of course it's going to be Harry from Dale, and then Ross Denham trying to go around the outside in the McLaren. Doesn't quite make it work, and also there Ollie and Matthew trying to take advantage. They're going side by side for fourth place. Matthew Alder on the inside, it looks like he has it, as Ollie loses back end a little bit as they get sorted out there. So it's Harry from Dale, Ross, Matthew and Ollie Flavel in the top 5. The two AlphaTauris find themselves in 5th and 6th, actually fighting for position now. Sondre Sorag is going to be looking to make up some places, as Cameron Young in the Haas has actually made up a few places. I think he started in 9th, so up 2 places for him, as I'll just quickly get the stuff up on the screen. As they go through Blanchimont, the Red Bull and Mercedes, Dale and Harry are pulling away a little bit from the rest of the grid here on lap 1 as the McLaren loses ground. 7/10 gap, really close still though. If these two fight, it can keep Ross in the fight, as through the bus stop chicane we go, as Chaos gets a 3-second time penalty already, and actually Edward gets a 10-second. As side by side in the background again, Matthew Alder trying to make up another place, Ross Denham, and he's gone up into P3, so that's Matthew's racecraft coming in there. Even in a Williams he can really do some damage and get up the places, as Jared Fosbury running in 9th in mediums. Pretty sure he was outside of the top 10 at the start, so it looks like he's got a good start for himself, as the two continue to lead. As of course Dale Kelleher was in first, is actually in the background. It's the timings mess up for me as it happens, but I think Ross was trying to make a move on Matthew Alder but just couldn't make it work, and it's actually opened the door a little bit for Ollie Flavel to close up, and a bit of a mistake, as both AlphaTauris are going to go through, and Ross Denham loses another 2 places. He's up on the curb, he loses a place to Cameron Young as well, down to 7th. He was running 4th a few corners ago, but yep, not there anymore, as also I think, well, that's Sondre Sorag actually using quite a bit of his ERS, it seems. It says deploy used, but that could just be a glitch, as the two leading the way. Matthew Alder not too far behind though, just out of DRS range it seems at the moment, as the two continue to scrap away for this lead. The Red Bull is going to be in the slipstream. Next lap he's going to have DRS going down the Kemmel Straight as well, but I don't think he'll need it, as he follows the Mercedes in the slipstream approaching bus stop. Is he going to go deep? He is actually going to go deep. He's actually going to touch the Mercedes as well as they go through the bus stop. Luckily, again, no damage for Dale, as they once again follow each other through. So now DRS is in activation, and in the background as well, Matthew Alder sets the fastest lap, but Dale's going to be trying to get a good exit here and try and use that slipstream to try and catch up once again to this Mercedes and try and get his, or what surely he would think is rightfully his, as they go up. Arouge and Radion, DRS in activation for the Red Bull, but looks like he's lost a bit too much ground now, as 6/10 between them, and maybe Dale using a little bit too much ERS at the start and not making the most of it. It's actually most people already down to 50%. Ollie's been pretty good with his usage, as he's got pretty much a full battery running in 4th place, so that could play into his hands. And Sondre Sorg as well, a fairly full battery compared to the top 3, as they navigate turns 10 and 11. So the race is kind of settled down now, as Greenwood is kind of losing a bit of ground, and now it's a DNF for Ross Denholm. Taimu is also involved in that, it seems. I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure if both of them were involved or if Taimu's car is even there, but it's a virtual safety car regardless. And with how the virtual safety car seems to work, when it says the virtual safety car is ending, it takes... I'm not sure how to explain it properly, but basically when it says safety car ending, if you're 3/10 up on your delta, it will kind of get rid of the 3/10 up and make you level again. So you'll kind of lose 3/10. So you have to be right on the mark all of the time, as close to the delta as you can possibly be. As they go through turn 1 once again. Virtual safety car, so no, well, the DRS won't be deactivated for the few laps as a safety car would have happened. As they go up Radion, this may help out Dale though, as he seemed to be struggling a little bit with Arouge and Radion, losing a little bit of time there maybe, and also through the turn 1 of the source. So he's been helped, and now the VSC once again is gone, and we are back to racing, as Matthew Walder, it seems, has had a fairly good restart, as he's well within the DRS range of Dale in the Red Bull now, Dale Kelleher. And then of course still leading this race is Harry Warren. As the two AlphaTauris still running together, 4th and 5th between them. And it's also been a chance for them to get their ERS back up, but now once again it's a fight for the lead. Dale is going to go on the outside for bus stop this time. It's going to give him the inside for the second part of the corner. If he can brake late, the Mercedes brakes late as well, though. Harry really fighting for this lead, and actually it seems like he's ended up in the pits. He is in the pits. Very early stop from Harry there, and it's going to allow Dale to inherit the lead of this race. Matthew Walder up into P2, and Ollie now back up into the podium places. As I can't quite remember where he started, but I know he was, I'm pretty sure he was like 4th or something at the start, so he lost out, and now he's up into the podium places using the ERS as well. He's going to go on the left. Is he maybe on the right? DRS and activation as well. Matthew Walder is going to be looking for the move. This could be a 3 wide. It is a 3 wide moment. Ollie Flavel is on the inside as well, and he's going to be able to get the better of the Red Bull. Matthew Walder though comes out best, and I think he was the one on the outside there, so the outside line clearly working out for the inside line of the second part, and the Williams is up into the lead of this race. Ollie Flavel now in P2. Dale looking for the lead actually in bus stop just last lap, now down to P3, so that's not going to be too good for him. But Matthew Walder will surely have a smile on his face as he now leads this Grand Prix. And by the way, HMFC has got a bit of clean air with him, 5 seconds between himself and Thomas McGyver, so he'll have some time to be making up in the clean air, while these three, I'm sure, will be still fighting away, as the Red Bull with the superior downforce a superior, well, less drag you can say, on the better car, and they're going to be once again fighting for it. The AlphaTauri trying to go on the inside of Matthew Walder, but it's going to be a VSC, a very sudden VSC. Ollie Flavel was looking for a move, maybe going into bus stop, but he couldn't make it work as a VSC denied him, and he's actually going to take this opportunity to go into the pits. Very opportunistic from Ollie Flavel, maybe also thinking about Harry's pit stop as well, Harry Warren that is, as Dale Kelleher goes back up into P2 where he was before. And I think if this VSC ends at the right time for him, he might be able to make a move on Matthew Walder, but it just depends now because there's a little bit of distance between them, as maybe Matthew's timing his VSC a little bit better at the moment. As they approach turns 6, 7 and 8, the little S section. And Sondre Sorg as well, not too far behind actually in the other AlphaTauri. Maybe Sondre would have wanted to take that opportunity to pit, which, looking at it actually, Ollie Flavel pit after Harry Warren, but of course with that VSC he's gained, by the looks of it, about maybe 10 seconds. As Ollie's there's 4, yeah, it's about 8 or 9 seconds that he's gained on who was the previous leader. So clearly Harry's strategy of pitting that little bit earlier not working out into his favour, as Ollie Flavel now will surely inherit the lead once the rest of them makes their pit stops. The only difference though is that people like Matthew Walder and Dale Kelleher will be able to go into the mediums later on into the race and be quicker once they get out of the pit lane, but it doesn't matter to Dale right now. He's focused on getting the lead. Matthew Walder is going to stay on the outside. He's going to take the inside line. Dale, and he's actually gone round and he's upset a little bit the line of Matthew Walder as well. He's gone round and I don't think he's saved it very well. I can't quite see where he is. Yeah, he's down to 7th now, so maybe he saved it a little bit, but certainly losing out quite a bit. And now we've got a fight for the lead. Sondre Sorhag is actually going to go through and inherit the lead now in front of his teammate Matthew Walder, and now Cameron Young suddenly finds himself in third. The two Alfa Romeos 4th and 5th now as well, as they go up the hill of Eau Rouge and through Radion. And actually Sondre Sorhag is spun now. Doesn't look like he got any damage, but he was leading for a brief moment and he spun, and now Laggy is looking for a move on Cameron Young on the outside. It's not going to be enough though. Later braking from Cameron Young on superior line as well, and he's going to be able to stick in P2 and chase down Matthew Walder in the Williams, as it's all really getting very close. And don't forget people like Ollie Flavel and Harry Warren as well, who should be ahead of these guys by the time the pit stops come around. As Matthew Walder continues to lead this race through Pouan. Just gonna have a quick look at the stream chat, as we'll only really have a brief moment, as actually it looks like probably... Oh, my bad. Looks like there's going to be some more overtaking here, as the Alfa Romeo closes up on the Haas, Laggy, and actually there's a full safety car now. So this is played perfectly into Matthew Walder's hands. I'm not sure, is that's Dylan Day, who was crashed out in Les Combes and into the pits. Inevitably all of them are going to be. Ollie Flavel of course took his chances with the virtual safety car, and I think it is going to pay off for him still, although he is on the mediums, which is an interesting choice. He is surely going to inherit the net lead, as of course Greenwood has not pit yet, and into the lead he does go. And Matthew Walder onto the mediums now from lap 8. They're going to be all going to the end. On the hards though, Jared Fosbury, so he's going to be going for a little bit different of a strategy, clearly not trusting the mediums to go that long. Maybe thinking about the extra tyre wear at the end of the race as well. but most people are looking at the mediums anyway, as the red Mercedes safety car leads the field, and Greenwood finds himself inheriting the lead, but he didn't pit though, which is an interesting choice. Or actually no, Jared Fosbury was on the mediums, that's why he's on the hards now, that makes more sense. So yeah, Greenwood clearly not wanting to be on the hards. Of course the hards are by far the slower tyre anyway. Lewis saying, yeah, you would expect it, that he has rearing damage. Of course, nothing visual from me, but that doesn't really mean anything in a Codemasters game. As Adam said, Ollie was to bottle on lap 7. Doesn't look like he's bottled on lap 7. I mean, lap 7 was last lap. We did get a safety car, but that was because of Dylan Day, though. And then Jared first retirement. He's still going, so that's also wrong. But credit for the effort of the predictions, though, Adam. As another thing this will allow the drivers to do is fill up their battery once again. So really in the running for this race, I wouldn't count Ollie out completely, because if he put on the mediums, I'm sure he believes they could go the distance anyway. In the AlphaTauri as well, that's certainly going to help out his pace. Matthew Older is Matthew Older, so he'll always put himself in the running to win a race. Doesn't matter where you put him, what car you put him in, what track you put him, it doesn't matter. He'll always find a way to be competitive here, as he is running in third place in net. P2 Cameron Young finds himself in a very nice P3 for himself. By the way as well, Harry Warren, who did pit before everyone else, it looks like he's pit again in the safety car. He is down to 9th now, so he's going to have to make up some ground, as of course he was leading. He'll want to get himself back into the fight for the lead once again, as the Mercedes of Greenwood is going to be leading the field away on the restart, so it's all up to him when he wants to go. 7, 8, 9, so this should be their last lap on the safety car. Of course, safety car laps do a big difference to tyre wear, because 3 laps is such a large chunk of the race if you think about it, with such a long track as well. Matthew Older looking like the favourite, you would think, simply because it is Matthew Older and his tyres are a little better, so that'll help out his pace over Ollie. But I would say Ollie will have the earlier advantage, at least, having that AlphaTauri against a Williams. As they come to finish Sector 2, and that is when the call should come that the safety car is going to go in, and then it should be Greenwood to lead the field away. Or not, apparently. I guess it's going to be one more lap. I guess the Ferrari needs to catch up, although he's not even in this anymore. And it is actually in this lap. It's just a very, very late call. So it is up to Greenwood now. When he wants to go, he can go at the line. He could go now. Doesn't matter. Completely up to him. As he goes through the final corner. And he looks like he's going to be going pretty much straight away, as Ollie Flavel, of course, in P2. Matthew Alder is going to be looking to make up an early position, because this really is going to be the fight for the lead. It's going to be crucial for Matthew and Ollie to make this move on the Mercedes quickly, as of course they'll have the tyre advantage, and Matthew already trying to make a move on Ollie Flavel going up Eau Rouge, but he thinks better of it, of course. Isn't the best idea to be making a move, as actually Greenwood has crashed going up the top of Eau Rouge through Radion. And he's got a 3-second penalty for it as well. A little bit stupid. But regardless, Ollie Flavel is going to be continuing. And he's going to inherit the lead of this race. Matthew Alder, I'm sure, is going to be hunting him down, though, in P2. And he's going to have DRS as well in third. Cameron Young, don't count him out. He's always been a quick driver. One of the quicker ones as well. And I'm sure with a bit of fighting ahead of him, that should help him catch up, as Ollie Flavel now gets a 3-second time penalty. And also you can see there he went quite wide, so that could be another warning, so he could well be on 4 warnings now. And of course Matthew Alder, I doubt he's on very many, 1 maybe 2 most at this stage of the race, so yeah, it's not going to help out Ollie at all by the end of this race. And of course Matthew Alder in the F1 race didn't get any pens, and I don't see that changing, as he's going to be following behind Ollie Flavel. Cameron Young also with no penalties, so that will help him out as well. Matthew Alder doesn't really have to make this move anymore, as long as he can stay behind Ollie and keep himself consistent enough, as it looks like Harry Warren is making a move in the background for 8th place, well, for 7th place, as actually in he goes to the pit lane. Interestingly, as Laggy sets the fastest lap of the race in the Alfa Romeo, following behind the Haas of Cameron Young. So surely a little bit of DRS helping out there as well. But up the hill once again, Matthew Alder is going to be following behind Ollie Flavel, and Ollie Flavel is going to spin at the top of the hill. He did inherit the lead. It was a good strategy, it looked like, but it's all gone for nothing now, and round he went. Matthew Alder now is a lot less pressure on himself. Ollie Flavel really just bottling right there at the top of the hill, and he is now down to 11th out of the points. And actually here is Dale once again in the Red Bull, trying to make up some ground from earlier, as he saves a potential spin there. A little bit of a correction to make, as of course the Red Bull is going to be the quickest car of the top guys right now. So he should be able to make moves a little bit easier, as he goes quite wide there. Doesn't have any penalties either, so he should inherit a P3 as of right now, as Edward Hart gets a 3-second time penalty, running P9. I know we got a 10-second penalty earlier as well, but I'm not sure how deserved that is, as a straight 10-second penalty probably happened under very specific circumstances that may not have been his fault. But through the bus stop once again we go. Very close between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Matthew Alder now has actually gapped this train 1 second, well, just about 1 second between them, so looks like he's broken DRS now, and he's going to be able to go and win this race, as up Eau Rouge and Radion they go. And the Red Bull of Dale, you would assume, is going to be able to make a move by the end of this straight. The Alfa Romeo also looking at a move on the Haas as well on the inside, and he's going to make a pretty easy move. And now the Red Bull is up the inside of Cameron Young as well. They're going side by side, and Cameron Young's actually going to fend him off very nicely there, as Sandra Sword tries to get involved, and actually Cameron Young round as well into the gravel. So he did just pull off a very nice bit of defending, but I guess the setup for the next corner didn't work out for him so well, as the Aston Martin as well of Thomas McGyver goes through, or almost goes through. He defends from him just about, but Cameron Young spinning, losing the rear, and well, that's the end of his fight for the podium places, at least for now, as he dropped down to P7. So it's not the complete end of the world, as Ollie of course spun earlier down to 11th. A little bit more convenient of a place to spin if you're going to spin anywhere. Sondre Sorg also just about in the DRS range without a pen, so he may actually be inheriting a second here. Or actually no, that's the other way around, never mind. I thought it was Sondre without the pen, but it was actually Dale. So Dale's going to be one inheriting a P2. As we can just take a quick look, and 6 seconds penalties, never mind. He's actually going to go backwards instead of forwards. As it looks like Laggy will only be losing 1 place, so not the end of the world for him. As who else is that around? That's Sondre Sorog. Already out 6 seconds bent, so it wasn't really looking likely for a podium, but now down to 10th, and actually the two Alpha Tauris now find themselves fighting once again, and Ollie Flavel isn't going to be able to go through, as he just wasn't close enough, but certainly in the DRS, and I think there's going to be a bit of a fight between these two in the closing stages, and it might actually happen a bit sooner rather than later in turn 10, maybe late braking. No, he's going to think better of it, Ollie is, and he's going to look for a move later on, which certainly will happen, as no DRS for Sondre Sorog. Of course, Pekka Sorg is running 6th in the Alpine, and of course Jared Fosbury just up the road, the two Alpines occupying 5th and 6th. Rocco Walsh actually finds himself in P4, which isn't too bad. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Okay. That's interesting. No helmet for Rocco then. He doesn't need one, I guess. It's a great game. As Jared Fosbury, though, is closing up on the Williams, and it looks like he's going to maybe have a look down the inside, but he's not. He's going to stick behind, try and get his braking nice, and get a better exit out of the final corner. Doesn't look like he's been able to do that, though, as he's going to stick behind once again. Paco Suarez with the fastest lap of this race. Of course, he's on fresher mediums, as is everyone else pretty much, as Paco Suarez now right up the back of his his Alpine teammate, I should say. And they go up the hill now. Jared Fosbury didn't get a great Eau Rouge, and Paco Suarez is going to be right behind, as it looks like maybe he's going to look around the outside, but they're pretty much equal, as Jared Fosbury also, remember, has DRS, and he's going to be looking down the inside of the Williams. He gets a front wing in there, but isn't enough, and he's going to have to slot in and remain in P5, as a little bit of correction as well. Paco Suarez certainly did want to move there, but it didn't quite happen for him, and he's going to have to wait for the next lap, which there is still quite a bit of racing left. Is actually in the background as well. Thomas McGyver, it looks like, going past Edward Hart now for P8 in the Aston Martin, as the top guys kind of space himself out a bit. Dale is closing up a little bit to Matthew Alder, though, as an apparent purple sector 2 as well. Rocco Walsh still trying to hold off, as actually Cameron Young, did Paco have a bit of a spin there maybe? Or is he losing? It doesn't, it seems like he's suddenly going, yeah, he must have spun there then, as the Aston Martin gets right up the back of him, and it looks like he's going to be going around the outside, maybe switching to the inside. Is he going to brake late? He's not. He's going to do exactly what Jared did and try and get a better exit here, get the earlier turn in, but it doesn't look like he's been able to do that quite well, and Cameron Young just going to go up into P6 after his earlier spin as well, as we would expect plenty of people to be spinning. And now Dale is right at the back of Matthew Alder. He's going to be using his ERS, he's going to be using his DRS, and he's got so much more straight line speed. He's going to pull to the left hand side, and he's going to make that move for first place as they go through Les Combes. And the Red Bull takes what was once his once again. And I think that was someone pitting or actually spinning, maybe. I think Cameron Young, yeah, Cameron Young must have spun there, as the Aston Martin trying to make a move on Rocco Walsh now, around the outside, still side by side between the two, and Haas now trying to go on the inside of the Aston Martin instead of the Aston Martin making the move, and Cameron Young going to make up a spot in P7 after surely a spin or something. It seems like people spin quite a bit as... okay. It looks like Thomas tried to use a bit of a different line. And, well, we saw how that happened. I think it was Rocco's car that he clipped. But looks like Rocco's fine. Still without a helmet, of course. And Jared Fosbury is now going to be inheriting the P4. And in front as well, Matthew Older, it seems like he's losing ground now to Dale. And it seems he's going to be running away with this. But I did say that about Matthew as well, and he got caught. And, I mean, it is Matthew as well, so you never know. Laggy settling into a comfortable P3. Depending on... well, no, 6 seconds. So he's on the cusp. If he can gain a few more tenths, he'll get third still. As, of course, Rocco and Jared without penalties. But if they fight a little bit more, then surely he'll be able to get that gap, as he does get that gap now. As you can see, DRS open for Rocco Walsh, as he's going to be trying to make a move as he follows in the slipstream of Jared Fosbury. Sondre Sorog getting a 3-second penalty there as Rocco closes up, but he does not, or is not close enough to make a move, as you can actually see visually there as well on the onboard that there is no helmet there. There's a balaclava, but there's no helmet, which is interesting to look at. It's Cameron Young now trying to make a move again on Paco Suarez, so it seems through spins they keep switching position. As now the fight for the lead, 1 second separates them, so that looks like kind of the end of that battle for now, at least. And Rocco Walsh is going to continue to try and make this move on Jared Fosbury, which, looking at ERS, he does have more. And he is saving it seems, as Jared Fosbury does use a little bit. Rocco does not, as he's just trying to sicken the DRS, maybe save a bit of ERS now and make the move a little later on as they go through the bus stop. As they now start lap 17, so a fairly big train of cars here, all leading up to fourth, going down to about 9th, I think. As actually, is there a bit of a fight there? I think Ollie Flavel went a little bit wide in the first corner, maybe, or it seemed he was a little bit more on the left than you would expect. But Ollie Flavel is gaining a little bit on Cameron Young. He's going to be opening up to DRS, as will Cameron on the Alpine of Paco Suarez as well. He's going to look down the inside a little bit, Ollie Flavel on the background, but he's not going to be able to make a move, and you can see there as well, Jared Fosbury and Rocco Walsh remain in the same positions as they were. And interestingly as well, Matthew Older has caught back up within the DRS. Looking at ERS, they're actually equal, so no advantages there, as Sondre gets another penalty. I think that was a 5-second there. As Rocco's still trying to get the move back on Jared Fosbury, but I think they both have to think about the potential podium that they could be fighting for as well. So maybe they should help each other out now and then go for the podium later, because of course Laggy does have that 6-second time penalty that they are just 2/10 short of, so they need to gain a little bit more to be looking at a podium, unless Laggy of course gets another penalty. As we see Matthew Older trying to hunt down Dale for the lead of this race. Doesn't look like he'll be anywhere near close enough on this occasion either to be making a move. Dale Kelleher continues to lead this race, and now Rocco Walsh within 2/10 of Jared Fosbury. Still not going to be able to make a move. He's going to certainly brake late, but not able to make anything happen, as I've just caught pretty much perfectly Cameron spinning now once again, as he loses a few positions, as their Harry Warren goes through as well, and Thomas Garver sets the fast lap of the race. So unfortunate for Cameron, as another spin from him, down to 10th, so a final point that he'll be driving for, unless he can gain something on penalties. And it seems like Paco now has actually gapped Ollie Favell, and he's on the back of Rocco Walsh now. So a three-way fight for what is almost P3, as Jared Fosbury is still a 10th away, roughly, from taking a P3. As actually you can see now, he's just crept under 6 seconds. So maybe Lucky now losing a little bit of time, or I should say Lewis Millam. In the background, pretty much everyone spaced out now, so it's really this fight that we'll be looking at, as Rocco Walsh once again is going to be trying to close up on Jared Fosbury. Neither of them with the penalty still, as he's going to be much closer now as he pulls to the left hand side. Jared Fosbury is going to try and defend it, but it's no use, as the superior straight line speed of Rocco Walsh is going to take him up into P4. And now once again the Alpons find himself on the same bit of track, fifth and sixth I should say. Jared ahead of Paco Suarez, and I'm fairly sure they are teammates as well. So there's that aspect of it. Maybe they're going to be helping each other to try and get past Rocco Walsh, as you can see a perfect shot of Rocco just not having a helmet. As they navigate Pouon and then approach, I can barely tell what corner it is. I think it's turn 11 and 12 or something around that. As Jared Fosbury is quite close to the back of the Williams, he might be able to make a move into the bus stop. And don't count out Paco either. We could get a three-way fight now, as Jared Fosbury goes wide. He actually lets his teammate through, it seems, as Paco Suarez now closes up. He wasn't able to close up enough to make a move, but you can see now it's kind of like a four-way fight, as Ollie Favell's been able to catch back up and make this a... Lewis has pit now, is down the inside for Ollie Favell on Jared Fosbury. He's already lost a position from Paco Suarez, and now they're side by side going up the hill. This is not going to end well if one of these doesn't back out on the inside now, and somehow they make it work. Jared Fosbury is going to hang it round the outside of the inside for Radion, and well, very, very fair play to both of them making that work, as I wouldn't have expected that to work at all. As in front as well, Rocco Walsh is finally passed by Paco Suarez. Paco Suarez now up into what is the podium places, but he also has that time penalty of only 3 seconds, so he may be able to pull the gap if Jared fights with Rocco a little bit, and Paco can maybe start working on a gap. But now again these two, Ollie Favell trying it down the inside maybe, but he can't make it work, as he's going to have to hand back. But right up the back of him still, he's looking around the outside now. Maybe the inside he's going to stick behind. It's a smart move really, waiting for the straight that is going to be coming up in a few corners. And now through turns 14 and then 15, pretty much flat. Turn 15 got to take a nice and wide line, as activating the ERS now as we come to the final stages of this race. Lap 20 out of 22, going on to the penultimate lap now for the leaders, as Ollie Favell right up the back of the Alpine. He's going to dive it down the inside, and Jared Fosbury's going to have the inside for the final corner. A little bit of a switchback from Ollie Favell, but he's not going to be able to make any use of it, and he's going to have to stay in P6. Paco Suarez now getting maybe a little bit more comfortable in P2 now. as well for the fight for the lead. Got to check up on it now. 2 laps left. Matthew Walder is still hunting down Dale Kelleher. Dale Kelleher looks in control right now, but certainly the pressure is going to be on him as Matthew Walder continues to hunt him down. As now DRS, you can see, activated for the likes of Rocco, Jared and Ollie, all trying to fight for this podium position. Paco Suarez, of course, won't take it. So right now, Rocco will be on the podium, unless Jared has anything to say about it as they go through the downhill turn 10 or turn 8. Yeah, Jesus. The official F1 doesn't line up with just like a normal track guide of it, so yeah, that's the downhill of turn 8, and then turns 10 and 11 right after it of Puan, my bad. Just mixing things up here, but yeah, approaching the final lap. It doesn't look like Matthew has anything really to answer for Dale, as Dale is going to come and start the final lap in the lead at least. Both of them not really doing too well for ERS. It is a fight for the lead as well, because neither of them have any penalties, at least as of right now, as they are going to be approaching turn 1 and through for the last time. Matthew Walder is a little bit closer. He saves up a little bit of ERS as well, and he's going to be going up the hill. He's going to be closing all the time. He needs to be very smooth here. Is probably going to be his last chance here, as the Red Bull is going to be trying to hold on for dear life. It's going to be quicker in the straights, but Matthew with the slipstream, and DRS is going to pull to the inside, side by side between the two. Matthew Walder is going to get it before the corner, right up on the curb, and he's going to get it before the corner for good measure, and through Lecom. Matthew Walder leads this race once again, neither of them with penalties. In the background now, Ollie Flavel trying to make up places. He's made up a place on Jared Fosbury. No, that's actually Ollie Flavel now going down the inside of Rocco Walsh, so now he's the one in the running for third. He has penalties as well, so Rocco still is going to inherit this P3. It's up to Jared really to make the move, and Jared's going to end up in P4 by the looks of it, as they navigate turn 9 and then approach Puan for the final time. And still, though, the fight for the lead rages on. Matthew Walder is leading this race right now, and actually, there you go, right on the last lap, a penalty for Dale is going to basically throw out his chances of the lead and the race win, as Matthew Walder is going to come through the final few corners, approaching bus stop for the last time. I doubt we'll be seeing a dive bomb from the Red Bull in bus stop as he closes up, I'm sure. But through the final corner, Matthew Walder is going to be the opening winner for this season in FP, and he takes the win. Of course, he was the championship winner of last season as well. Paco Suarez is going to finish on track P3 with Ollie Flavel in P4. Both of them have penalties, so it looks like Rocco Walsh is going to inherit the podium from that, as Paco actually did pull off the P3 there. And Ollie Flavel down to 5th. Jared Fosbury is going to remain in P6. And then Harry Warren is going to be up to P7, with Edward dropping to P8. And then you can see there Lewis Millum going down to, well, not just finishing. No penalties here. I'm just finishing 9th. And then Sondre, you can see on the softs, as he's just going to be doing some weaving there for actually the final point. And as Cameron Young is going to be doing the same thing. I wonder what's going to happen here then. Is Sondre maybe going to wait, or no, he's going to go across the line. He's going to take the final point, as Cameron's going to be doing some donuts right at the end. And well, Thomas MacGyver actually spins, and I think it was an intentional spin, but I think people like Sondre, I think Jared was on comms as well, when I think it was Thomas MacGyver who spun on the final corner and someone else, and they were both going to inherit the lead after one spun after the other, and then third one, but I'm not sure completely, as Rocco Walsh gets driver of the day. I think that's fairly deserved from him. But there you have it though, Matthew Walder taking the full 25 points and is on the top step as he lifts the trophy, the first place trophy. Dale fought right to the end, but got a penalty on the last lap, so that's going to put him in P2, and of course P3 for Rocco Walsh, a very strong P3 from Rocco, staying out of trouble. Or actually no, Paco, my bad, that was Paco in P3. I keep thinking of Paco's penalty, but didn't actually matter in the end. So yeah, Matthew Walder of course with no penalties, as he does in P1, Dale in P2, and then Paco third. Rocco Walsh wasn't able to inherit it, only 2 tenths between them though. Ollie Fabel in 4th, Jared in 5th, so he couldn't make up any time with the penalties of others. Harry Warren is in 7th, of course Edward in 8th, Lewis in 9th, Sandra Sorg in 10th, Thomas McGyver in 11th, Cameron Young in 12th. Taimu, I think, wasn't actually here for that race. I think he lagged out, and then Greenwood, Dylan Day, and Ross Denham, DNFing. I don't actually have my phone to see if they'd be up for interviews, but I haven't seen them done in the other tiers yet. Oh, you had it. Okay. Well, Harry just saying that in the chat there that he had a drive-through, which I didn't actually realize. Yeah, I think I'll just end the stream there, to be honest. Unless they're up for it. I'll actually ask in the chat. So just so hopefully they'll join anyway. Yeah, there's Matthew. And there's Paco. Alright then. I guess we'll start with you then, Matthew, since you won in the end. So, okay. Yeah, obviously, quali in a Williams wasn't really going to be a pole position, and of course it wasn't, but your racecraft certainly helped out, and well, saving your ERS by the end as well allowed you to make the move. In the end, you got a penalty anyway. But how was the race from your end?
The start was probably the most crucial part for me. Ugi didn't start at all, I don't think. And I also jumped Ollie, I think, or Paco. No, it was Paco. And then he spun anyway. Then it was just about making sure I don't spin at a Rouge, because that was quite a easy thing to do. I lifted almost every lap to avoid it. But like people who were around me kept doing it. Like I think HMC did it, Grumpy did it, even if he was able to get back up there because he was really fast. They're probably the fastest. And the Mercedes who was up there as well. Well, that was HMC. Ross. Yeah. I don't remember what happened to Ross, but yeah, it was just about not making a mistake as them really. And then Grumpy got back up into the lead after Ollie spun, since the safety car put him in the lead after everyone pitted. And then I just followed Grumpy. He was really fast, so I was pushing a lot. I didn't have much ERS. Every lap I was using like 20% or so out of Blanchimont. And then I held on and then got past him on the straight. I didn't really think I'd get a chance, but I'm not sure if he wasn't burning ERS or what, but I got past him and then he got a warning, so it basically just guaranteed my victory. I could just, even if I wanted to keep it on track, so I was kept burning ERS, he didn't seem to worry after he got the penalty, so yeah, just up to coastline after that.
Yeah, I guess just a question, when he passed you initially, of course, you had everyone gapped from DRS range. When he caught you and passed you, did you think that was it when you started losing time, or did you have it under control and you thought you could get back by the end?
I didn't think I would be able to keep in DRS. I mean, I kept the first lap, but I used so much ERS I thought I would eventually run out of ERS and then he would drop me then. But Belgium seems pretty nice on ERS, so I was able to keep it, and he made a couple of mistakes every now and then, and that, I mean, one mistake was able to allow me to get in DRS and use less battery, which ended up being the way I was able to win. So
yeah, and then for next week, just to check quickly, it's Russia, or is it? No, it's not. That wasn't updated.
City.
Yeah, France. So next week, France. Historically, one of your very good tracks. Do you think you could repeat something similar to what you did here today?
I don't think I'll be able to repeat what I did here today because it was very track specific. A lot of mistakes, overage being incredibly hard to not spin at this year for some reason. So I don't think there's a corner like that in France. So I'll probably just be looking for a podium. I mean, Grumpy will be in a fast car slow car this week. So yeah, I'll probably just be aiming for a podium.
All right, then congratulations on the win and good luck for next week.
Thank you.
And then Paco, I'm sure you're happy with this anyway, because there were times it was looking like a kind of like top 5 mid points finish, but in the end, even with the penalty, you were 2 tenths away from losing it, but you got the podium in the end, and well, it took a lot of fighting as well, with people like Jared and Ollie. So how was that from your end by the end?
Well, it was a really tricky race, you know how it goes. I made a mistake on lap 1 at the start. I thought someone hit me, and I shouted on the party, you know, blaming Ollie. But I made the mistake, so I knew I had to make a comeback. I didn't give up, fought all the way till the end, and I saw my pace was really, really good. On the first stint, I was catching back quite rapidly to everyone ahead, so I knew that, you know, if we had a normal race, I could probably be on the podium, probably without those safety cars and virtuals. Definitely it helped me in the end, because I also binned it. I crashed into the wall and lost my front wing. And the second stint, more or less, the third stint actually, you know, the medium stint, it was really, really fun. I've never had that much fun in a while. I really enjoyed it. So many fights with Cameron, with Jared, and yeah, then my teammate Rocco helped me, to achieve a really good result as a team, to try and beat Matthew and Sondre, which will be almost impossible, but we'll try. And we secured P3 and P4, so I have to also say thank you to Rocco, because without him, Jared probably would have been there, and also if he didn't help me, I would have finished P4 or P5 possibly. So, yeah.
Well then, certainly a good day then from your point of view. And of course, with the P3 next week, you won't necessarily be in a very good car, probably a Haas or Williams. But you any good at France? Of course, I think your pace has kind of improved in this game as well. So, are you looking forward to France next week?
I mean, the good thing about France, right, is that it's plenty of straight lines. So, if I'm able to get a Williams, maybe we have a good chance getting a Haas. I don't know how good it is, on the straight line, but I think I'm decent. After in PSCL, actually, I did solid, more or less. So I don't think my pace compared to last game, it's better, it's more or less there, but probably this game I've gained more consistency, that it's always the thing I've been lacking. So instead of giving up on lap 1, I still fight, and I still I try to keep concentration. So in France, I'll try to do the same, try to take advantage of the mistakes of the rivals, and try to get the best result as possible.
Well then, congratulations on your P3, and good luck for what comes next week.
Thank you very much, Kevin, and thank you for the work and the stream.
Yeah, and that will be rounding it out then. So, of course, I've been Kevin, just the solo comms today. Hopefully I will end up with a co-com at some point. But, yeah, that has been round 1. And, of course, next week, same time, 8 PM on Wednesday, I'll be back for France in round 2. So, that has been all from me, and good night.